I'm very curious to hear if you can talk a little bit about, from a Salesforce customer's perspective, about using AI with Salesforce. What are some of the compelling business cases? What were some of the challenges? The pre-tech, pre-implementation part of the story.
Yeah, I think where every organization needs to start and where we started is identifying where you are in your AI maturity level. Are you at just the beginning trying to understand it, dip your toe into it? Are you more advanced and looking to incorporate it as part of your business workflows and enhance processes? Or are you more of that more transformational where you want AI embedded into that flow? And the reason I mention this is because that will indicate the types of use cases that you should be targeting, right? So if you're, for instance, if you're a little bit risk adverse and don't want to rely on AI to make critical decisions, then you're probably not in that transformational bucket yet. However, you may be in that more advanced bucket where it's incorporating a human in the loop. Yeah.
That's very interesting. So, like, what you're almost saying that there is an early phase which could just be I'm doing some automation with AI and probably crunching through unstructured data, analyzing files, doing something with case categorization, things like that. And
Yeah.
then there's a more transformational aspect of it where you tend to get more agentic and AI is actually making decisions. Is that kind of the direction you're?
Yeah. It's similar. And then there's that piece where you incorporate AI as part of the workflow. So what I mean by that is if you think about an SDR agent, right? Salesforce recently announced that they've been able to engage all these unnurtured leads that they had in their backlog. But when you join an event, when I joined a live event, I asked them, I'm like, is the SDR just nurturing it and then qualifying it as a sales qualified lead before converting it into opportunity? Or are you handing it off to an SDR rep? And the response was that they're handing it off to an SDR rep to do that final qualification. So that's where the advanced aspect comes into play versus transformational, where from an advanced aspect, you can incorporate it as part of your workflow to further nurture that lead, for instance, give it a higher score. So your SDR teams and BDR teams know are engaging with higher qualified leads with individuals who are interacting. Not only that, it also helps to prep the conversation so that the customer is not necessarily coming in blind about the product or service your company is offering. They can ask some of those high level questions that the SDR agent is able to respond to and then get more detailed with your actual human rep.
That's a very interesting point. If you think about that, it's almost a very classic human in the loop, at least for a period of time.
Yeah.
And once the organization feels more comfortable with the whole idea, then you may have a transition where you may take a substantial portion of those activities and hand it over to AI to autonomously drive. Is that a good way to think about it?
Yeah, I would say so. So I think it's a multi-stage process, right? So initially, when leveraging an SDR agent, I classify human in the loop as two different definitions. So one is a human reviewing the output before it gets sent out to an external customer in this case, right? So am I reviewing the composed email the SDR agent is going to be sending out and editing it before it gets sent? So that's one version of human in the loop. The second version of human in the loop comes in when that lead is qualified. So the human is not reviewing the SDR emails before they get sent out. And I think that's a real benefit of where generative AI and agentic AI comes into play, where your SDR rep can now be operating 24/7. So especially with SMB customers and those customers who are entrepreneurs, they don't work a normal 9 to 5 lifestyle. So they may be engaging after 5 p.m. when your reps are home, but your SDR agent can continue to nurture, right? That enables you to then have trust in the SDR agent that it's engaging and sending out the right messaging in order to make and schedule that meaningful connection and that meeting with your SDR rep in the future. right? So that's one way where that's the advanced portion of it, where you trust it to engage. And then the transformational aspect in my head is that SDR agent. So that human SDR rep may not need to engage those leads anymore. There may be a future conversation, or the SDR agent itself is able to identify that, hey, this is a potential sales qualified lead with a and should be converted into an opportunity, and do it without that SDR human rep in place.
True, true.
So that's where I see the three kind of patterns line.